Hi, and welcome here on Match Week 6 of the Alternative Premier League. I'm your host, Tenacious Earl. So this project is sort of like a replay, except I've randomized the entire schedule. And so every team is going to play every other team twice, once home, once away. And that's the way we're going to do it here. This week, we're going to have Brighton and Hove, Albion hosting Arsenal. So the Seasiders actually performing quite well in this season so far, actually kind of above their form. In the real league, they end up around 16th place in the real league, but they're 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw, putting them in 8th currently in this alternative project. Arsenal, a little bit farther down the table, 15th. They only have 1 win so far in 5 games, and so they're going to try and get that squared away. Of course, Brighton in this particular year, 2022, that we're currently in, they've had a strong start to their season, so much so that Chelsea hired away their coach, their manager, to try and help boost their situation. So this is the year, one of the years that kind of like starts building things up for Brighton. We're going to see Leandro Trossard. He is the striker here today for them. And Arsenal has Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Saka, Willian. They do have a couple guys on the bench that would normally be attacking, but still have a lot of firepower. It's just they have started slow, and they're going to try to get it squared away today. So, and this is the first match week where I've switched back to the base rules from the APBA game. I was trying a different rule set for the first few weeks, but once I found out that it's not particularly endorsed by the makers at APBA, I decided let's go back to what they created and just use their base rules and see how it goes. So that's including clutch points and everything. So let's get right to it here. Brighton hosting Arsenal, and this is Tenacious Sports here in Match Week 6 of the Alternative Premier League. All right, so for full disclosure here, just so everybody knows what's going on, I recorded that first little bit 2 days ago. I was hoping to play some that night, and just, sometimes you get caught up with getting a little late and everybody wants to go to bed in the house, so I've put this and then I had stuff going on yesterday, so playing this on a Sunday morning. And so it's one of the nice things about these kinds of games that it maybe is different about computer is, it takes a little extra time, but the feeling of manual is pretty cool, doing things manually. And you can also just set it down, especially if you don't really get started on it, the actual game. But even in the middle of the game, as long as you leave it at a spot where you can pick it up and remember what exactly is going on, you don't necessarily lose the the feel of the game. But anyway, Brighton will be starting with. So it's interesting that in this game from APBA that just because they list somebody as a forward doesn't necessarily mean that they are deployed as a forward all the time. Like in the Arsenal team, it'll be even more apparent. But so what we have here with Brighton is a 4-4-2 mostly. So it's going to be Ben White. Actually, no, I take that back. This was a 3-man defense. Ben White, Adam Webster, and Lewis Dunk are in the back line. And then you have 4 deep midfielders that are more like, you have 2 wing backs. That would be March, right? I'm blanking because I set this up a couple days ago. Yeah, so March, it would be in the left wingback or midfield, if you will, and then on the right will be Jahan Bakish, Alireza Jahan Bakish. He's Iranian. He's listed as a forward, but he has been deployed as a winger, wingback, whatever you want to call it. So outside on the right, and this is based on the way that Brighton deployed their players. I used some roles to determine that. Based on probabilities and such. So then the deep midfielders are going to be Yves Bissouma and Steven Alzadi, the Colombian. So then you have Pascal Gross sitting in front of them with Adam Lallana, and then Leandro Trossard is going to be the forward for them. So, and Matt Ryan in goalie. So they have the backup goalie, and that's another thing that I've continued to use the rest roles. Or like fitness checks, if you will. And so Robert Sanchez usually is the starting keeper for Brighton, but in this case it'll be Matthew Ryan, who ends up playing for Arsenal later on. So that's kind of an interesting thing in this season. But anyway, for this matchup at least, Arsenal will again. So here we go with I believe this was let me bring up my chart here so I can see for sure. So I think this was a 4-2-3-1. All right, so 4 defenders, Holding and Gabriel Dos Santos are the center defenders, Tierney and Bellerin on the outside. Then you'll see Saka up here as a defender. Well, he doesn't really play defense. He's a forward, but because he is so instrumental in their defending, they rate him as a defender. So at least that's my understanding of it. So then a couple of deep midfielders, Granit Xhaka and Mohamed El Neni. And then your 3 attacking midfielders would be Willian and Saka on the outside, and Emile Smith-Rowe as sort of the central attacker, and then finally Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will be the forward. Anyway, I kind of fumbled and stumbled around that, but that's that. And let's get going with the game. Both teams are going to be deployed in what's called the 4-4-2 tactic, which is basically just neutral, not attacking, not defending. Well, a little bit of both. Let's just call it that. So what we do first is we're going to roll. Well, we can roll the D6. 1 through 3 will be the home team, Brighton, winning the toss, and so then Arsenal will start with the ball in the first half, and then vice versa. So it's going to be, okay, so Brighton will start, so Arsenal wins it. So Brighton will kick off. So when we kick off, we roll both dice, and that's going to be an 8, so we add them together for the kickoff, and 8 is going to be the zone E. And E56 will be, so the 56, we then go to the player control chart and find out in zone E, which is some kind of like maybe 35 yards from goal. As the X is on the defensive half, F is just inside the midfield stripe, and then as you get closer, C is in the corners, and then B is the area just outside the area. A is the penalty area. But anyway, 56 in zone E, we check the player control chart, and it's going to be player 8. So that is going to be Jahan Bakish on the outside. 65 is 35, so then we go to, so we take this goes to the player card, we look at the player card 65, and we always go the colored die first, then the white die second. So 35, we then go to the results chart, and 35 in zone E is going to be a defensive check. So a play made here by Arsenal. Now they are as you can see at the bottom right of your screen. Oh, whoops, I still have it on the wrong thing. Okay. Bottom right of your screen near the zone adjusts. They are a defense 3, so we will roll on the defensive chart, which I'm not going to put on the screen since that's part of what you would purchase with the game. Header to E will be the result. So what that means is that because Arsenal's the defensive team, the header E, if Brighton wins a loose ball check, which again, the loose ball ranges are at the bottom of the screen now. I'm used to doing it where the home team has the lower numbers, but in the game here in the rules, at least for the screen here, I'm going to play it this way, where I'm going to do the higher rated team gets 11 through 43, and that's Arsenal. They are rated 4. Brighton and Hove is 3. And so when you go to, when the loose ball chart is there, what you do is you take the difference between the two. So in this case, that's a 1, and you use chart 1, and so that's why it's 11 to 43. And so just have to remember that. So 22 means that Arsenal gets it. So because if Brighton would have retained possession, they would get it in zone E. Because Arsenal got possession, it goes to zone X. So Brighton loses it, and now in X, it's player 33. That's going to be 7. So it'll be Kieran Tierney. So you can see I've got these set up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Same over on this side. So Tierney, 54, that's going to be off the special result chart. Your special action chart is the way that APBA calls it. So 15 will be current player dribbles into open, takes a shot that strikes the crossbar. Roll a 1 through 6 and follow the result. So this would be Tierney takes a shot. A 1, the ball deflects over the goal into the crowd. Goal kick. 2 to 5, ball rebounds in area A. And then you get a shot on goal plus 6 if the offense retains possession. And then if you roll a 6, it's going into the goal. So let's see what the roll is. It's a 1, so it's going over. So that's going to be, we're going to write it down. I'm going to write it down on the sheet. Here's a shot for Tierney. And he misses and over. And we move on with Brighton getting a goal kick. So Ryan will kick it away. The goal kick will be an E. It's on the sum of 8. E26 will be player 4. So that's going to be Pascal Gross, the German attacking midfielder. 51 is going to be on his card. 41 in E is going to be a header in zone F. So a loose ball check, and it's going to be retained by the lower rated team, Brighton. So they keep it in F. It was Arsenal that wanted to go to 6. So F13 is 2. So it'll be Yves Bissouma, Malian defensive midfielder, 35 in F. So that's going to be 22. So we have F8. We could do a roll here, and if you get a 1 through 4 on the roll, you get to choose who in F you get the ball to. But instead, we're just going to go with Johan Bakish and not chance losing possession, because if you get a 5 to 6, you lose possession to zone X to the other team. 43 for Johan Bakish is 42. In zone F, it's going to be a header to X. Another loose ball check, and it is lost. So Arsenal get it zone X. 23. Player 5, Gabriel dos Santos, Brazilian defender. 15 is a 43. In zone X, and his pass is errant, and it goes over the touchline. It'll be a throw-in for the Seasiders of Brighton. Oh, no, that's a 6. So on the throw-in, zone F, F55 will be player 9. Ben White, another central defender. 25 is 42. In F is going to be a header to X. Need 44 and above, and they don't, so lose it to zone X for Arsenal. 45 in X is going to be player 8, so that's going to be El Neni. Or no, that'll be Bellerin. Oh, I read the wrong one, didn't I? See, I'm getting mixed up because I don't usually set these cards up this way. Oh, shoot. Alright, so I checked it out. And I should have already done this part of it. But so I should have checked F9. I'll eventually get accustomed to this way that I've laid these out. This is player 9, Alzadi. 25 was the roll. It was 36 in zone F is a defensive check. So it could very well end up being the same way it plays out here. But let's see, 52 with a defensive rating of 2 for Brighton and Hove is going to be a header to X. And you know what? We can just, let's keep rolling. Okay, well, they retain it in X, so that will change who gets it. So in 6th minute, no score. It's going to be zone X. 42 is going to be player 8. So this time it will be Johan Bakish. 66 is a 1 in zone X. You look there, 1. Sorry about if this is a little dark underneath the shadow of the box here. It's just, unfortunately, the way it goes, for this stuff. I probably could do this a little different. I probably could actually use my dice roller here, but it does take up a little more room. But anyway, so 66X1 is going to be B1. So that's a pass to zone B, and it'll be Leandro Trossard. 55 is another double, so this is going to lead to a this is going to be we looked at 55, it's a 6, so 6 in B is a shot for Trossard. And because we're doing this a little differently, so before I was using Finzel's rules, and they're a little more involved, but they're not fully endorsed. So we're going back. So the way that we would play this is that the assist would come from the guy who passed it. So Johan Bakish has an assist of 1, so there's no adjustment. You can see down in the bottom right for assist adjust. AST is that's the rating. 0 to 3 is a 0. So we go with Trossard's. But now wait, we do have the B, zone B, we can adjust for, and you can see there it's a +3. So Trossard is 32, so we add 3, it goes up to 35. Now if he started at 35 and you add 3, you go up to 36, but then you jump up to 41 because these are based on actual rolls, and you end up at 42. So it's based on like the roll values. And there are ways you could, if you are confused by this, you could convert. You could come up with an Excel sheet to convert and have like 1 through 36 and then put next to 1 11 and then 12 13 14 15 16, then go jump up to 21 22 23, etc., etc. So that way you could, if that, and then eventually I think doing that would pretty much get you to the point where you would quite easily remember how to handle that. So Trossard, because no assist bump, but he does get a zone bump, he needs a 35 or less to have a shot on goal. So he's going to get a shot either way, but this determines whether it's on goal or off target. It's a 55, so that's an off target shot, and then we need to re-roll to figure out the result of that. So that's a 7. So that is going to be a goal kick, correct? Let's see. Or no, goalkeeper outlet, my bad. So let's say it takes a deflection and it wasn't going to go on goal, and Leno just scoops it up and is ready to outlet it. Usually throwing could be with a kick, so a 5 on the goalkeeper outlet goes to zone E. Well, let me roll this again. So 63. It's going to be player 9. So that is going to be El Neni. 41, 32 in E. Defense. Defensive 2. And 65 is going to be a block to X. Again, so 45 means that it will be lost to the lower rated team. So Brighton in the 8th minute will have it in X, and 53 will be player 9, which will be Alzadi again. 36 is 30, and that's a defensive check. Getting into a little bit of a midfield battle type of situation right now. 42 is header to E. And they retain it on the 51. E21 is 3. Alright. Trying to use this box. I'm not really digging it here. I'm going to switch over. See how this works out. See if this works a little better. Again, a little bigger. Means shaping my space a little better, a little differently. But, okay. But I feel like this will... you know what? That doesn't work either because it blocks Saka. Although we haven't had him on there yet. So let's go back. Figured it'd be worth a shot, but we'll just go to the way it was working before. I just need to get better about hitting the back of the box so it stirs them up right. So we've got Xhaka in E. Or no, Lewis Dunk in E. We're with Brighton here. 62 is 32 in E. Another defensive check again. So second half of the 8th minute. 46 for Arsenal. Header to F. And they lose possession to Arsenal. So Arsenal get it in X. X34. Going to be player 7. So that'll be Kieran Tierney. And a 22 doesn't have a double there, so it's a 41 in X. It's a header to X. And they retain possession. X34, it's going to be player 7 again. It's going to be Tierney. 53, it's 29, and X defensive check. That's for Brighton this time. Block to X. They lose possession to Brighton. Again, it kind of throws me off. Usually the away team has those higher rolls. X22 is going to be player 5. So it'll be Adam Lallana. He has 4 numbers, so that could give us a chip. But no, 43 in X is going to be out of bounds. So getting gummed up here a little bit. Throw in. Throw in 8 is going to be zone F. 52 is going to be player 9. That will be Alzadi. 54 is going to be another special result. 63 pass to D. Player's choice. And we will pass it to Trossard. He's Wait. It's El Neni. I'm getting my teams mixed up here. So, well, we're still going to take it D1, right? We'll take it to Saka in D. So it's El Neni. 54 is always going to be the special result. So we get the pass to area D, and it's going to be to Bukayo Saka. So in zone D, 43, that's a foul committed. So that ends any potential attack. So then we get another 43. Player 5 for Brighton on the foul suffered. It'll be Adam Lallana. And no card. So sometimes I see in forums questions about the foul procedure and whatnot. So what you're either going to get when it comes to a foul during a game is you're going to either get a 48, which is foul committed, or 49, which is foul suffered, right? So in that case, so there's two ways to do it. The book, which, yeah. So I said there's two ways to do the foul thing, and I'd use the second way, but the first way is the way that they do it in, or the way they explain it in the book. So Saka got the 48. So the way that they would then recommend you do this is you take the dice and you re-roll, and then you use the player ID chart, which is a somewhat skewed distribution pattern. So before the game, you take both teams. I've shown this in another video. You take both teams and you rank everybody for these various, for these four, for the foul committed, foul suffered, assist, and injured. You rank them. So like for Arsenal here, we have Gabriel is the highest rated foul committed with a 3. Xhaka is also 3. But for foul committed, I take the player that's farthest down the order, like the most defensive player, because they're the ones that are probably going to commit more fouls, right? I don't know if that's truly the case, but it feels right to me. And this is the opposite for foul suffered. If there's a tie, you go with the player who's the most likely to be on the ball, attacking the goal. Just the more, the higher the rating. I would say foul suffered tends to be a rating of how dangerous a player is, because a lot of times those are the players, they are shifty, they show the ball and then kick it out of the way a little bit, nifty moves, makes a player grab because he's faked out of his shoes and whatnot. So anyway, so back to the foul committed, foul suffered thing. So if it's foul committed, like in this case, what they would recommend you do is re-roll this on the player ID. It'll give you the ranking based on what you roll here. So let's say it was player 7. Then you'd go to the chart and then you'd say, okay, so for Arsenal, player 7 is Tierney. So he would be the one that committed the foul. Feels more natural to me to say, well, if this guy is rated for committing fouls, then why wouldn't you? And it's somewhat indicative of frequency based on his place in the team and everything. You can probably get away with saying Saka is the one who committed the foul. Okay, so then what we can do is we can roll the dice, and we got a 43 there, right? So 43 on that player ID chart is in the 5 range. So the foul suffered, which is the player who was fouled on the other team, player 5 on my list is, and the ranked list is Adam Lallana, and so that's why we did that. And then we roll on the Then we roll. So here we have red card, yellow card, foul. So an 11 is a red card, a 13, and for Saka, if he gets a 12 or a 13, it would be yellow, and anything else is just a straight foul. So we got 65. I am using clutch points, and one of the things that I think clutch points are extremely valuable for is that I do think your chances of rolling an 11 are still pretty high compared to, like the guys who were rated 11 in this game didn't get a red card in the season that they played. So, what kind of you're playing a replay, right? And it kind of sucks to get a red card for somebody who didn't actually have a red card. So for clutch points, you can use that to kind of like dull down or get rid of a red card, or a yellow card for that matter. If you wanted to, you could use those, like especially if the team's in the lead and you don't want to go down a man, or you're just like I could be trying to like attack for a second goal, but it might be better if you end up, So I guess what I'm saying is it's nice to have the clutch points, because if you end up with one of these card situations in the first half that would just like destroy your game, you can use those clutch points. Now, granted, then you won't have a chance to do any like attacking at the end. That would be a little more, could be fruitful, but you could also then, hopefully through the point of the game, if you have the better team, you can trust that the rolls are going to come out in your favor in the long run of the game. Doesn't always work out that way. So anyway, that's my little discussion about the foul procedure. You can do it either way. If you want to play it strictly by the rules, you should be rolling on the ranked list for both the foul committed and the foul suffered. So whatever you feel most comfortable with. So this is a free kick in zone X. And I should have written down my free kick takers. It is... So for zone X, we'll call it Lewis Dunk. It'll be Pascal Gross if we get one that would be taking a shot. But you won't be taking one from zone X. So I'm going to write this down on my sheet. Free kick is Dunk. Shot free kick is Gross. And then a corner kick is Gross. And then for Arsenal, sorry for the other stuff going out here. Oh wait, that's Aston Villa. Wrong tab. So it'll be Willian taking corners. Shot free kick will be Xhaka. May do Willian if they are behind, and again, free kick, just a normal free kick will be Xhaka. So just for good knowledge along the way, especially for like assists and things. So the free kick in X, that's a 7, so that's going to go to zone B for Brighton. B36 is going to be player 4. So Pascal Gross in B. 50, another. So that's 3. I went a couple games without having one, so now we have 3 special results in a row here. 61, out of bounds, throw in area X, add 30 seconds, because they dispute it, so. Or dispute who, so it's going to be throw in, and I believe we can just say area X on the sheet. X56 is going to be player 9. So that'll be El Neni. And another 54. Holy mackerel. The day of the 54s, and 34 offside. So an indirect free kick, which is very similar to the direct kick in X. So again, that'll be to B, right? That's correct. Zone B, B11. So that's going to be player 1. So Trossard in B. So possibly a chance here to... That's 44. Did it go off the screen? It kind of did, but you should be able to see it right there on the edge. 44. He has a 5. That's going to be a shot for Trossard, a second of the game. The indirect free kick would be from Dunk. Dunk is an assist 0, so we don't get any bump from that, but he does again get, so it's going to be 35. So he missed 1. He should have a chance at, we'll see if the probabilities work out. He should get a shot on goal here. And 35 right on, yes, a shot on goal, 35 or less. So now we go to Leno's goalkeeping card, and we roll here. 34 is a 10. That is a goal. So Brighton scores. And so another thing you could do with clutch points is we could have taken it, but it would have eaten up a bunch of Arsenal's clutch points to basically make it a very, very slim chance of it going in, like a great, kind of like a great save kicker here. But that's going to be a goal for Trossard. And what I tend to like to do here is, so because this game, so that's in the 15th minute. What I like to do is, or 14th minute. We do kind of like a quick check, especially if there is an assist rating. I probably would give that player an assist because Dunk doesn't have an assist rating. I'm actually going to roll on the player ID and see who would be the one. And 61 is player 8 on assist. That's going to be Webster. So, you know what? Let's just give it to Dunk. Anyway, 14th minute here. Trossard from Dunk, and it's 1-0. Why are you being like this? My spreadsheet's being a clown. So the home team gets a goal. It's a little anti the way it has gone in real life for these teams. So now 1-0. So here we're gonna get started back again here with a goal kick, or a kickoff with Arsenal. I did switch the assist back to Webster, by the way. I decided that I would go with the player ID after all. And the theory behind that is that and for one thing, the assist made no difference, the assist rating, and I'm pretty sure I haven't been using the assist rating in previous games in this method, based on who took the free kick. Because the thing about this game is these are like half-minute snapshots, and so when let's say you have a free kick, it could go between 3 or 4 players before there's actually any kind of attempt on goal. So that's where setting who makes the assist by the roll is probably worthwhile. So anyway, so we have an 11 on the kickoff, which is going to be to Zone B. So that's going to give Arsenal some good position on the field here. And so B3, it's going to be Xhaka, not the player you necessarily want, not a player who's going to be taking a lot of shots in close. 14, 35, and B is a defensive check. So we may have to switch tactics with Arsenal here pretty soon. Block to X, and it'll be retained by Arsenal. X 23 is going to be player 5. So it's Gabriel Dos Santos. 65, he is fouled. So who committed the foul? So that'll be the top rated foul committer, and that's going to be Bissouma. Use Bissouma, and 43 is there's no card. So that'll be a free kick in X, and it'll be Xhaka, the one taking it here, and it's a 10. That'll be to zone C. And that's going to be player 8 in the corner in zone C. That will be Hector Bellerin. 30 in C is going to be E4. So a pass to E, and it'll be William. 56 to 33 in E, that's a defensive check. 52 on defense 2 is going to be header to X. That is lost to Brighton. X10. It'll be Ben White. 32 in X27. Defense. 56 for 3. Arsenal is going to be a block to D. And it's 23. That's a loss to the higher rated team, Arsenal. So Gunners in X31 will be player 6. So that's going to be Emile Smith-Rowe. 42. So it's 36 is going to be 42. Zone X out of bounds. So that'll be a throw into Brighton. Throw in 2 is going to be to zone B. B46 will be player 5. Adam Lallana. 52 is 43. And B is going to be a header to B. Get a loose ball check. And a 35 is going to be lost to Arsenal. Zone X. So we're in the 20th minute currently. 1-0 Brighton. X35 will be player 7. Kieran Tierney. X. We get a 12. 42 and X is out of bounds. Throw in 63. So that's going to be 9 for the throw in. That's to D for the Seasiders. 44 for D is going to be player 6. And I just realized I've been calling them Seasiders, and it's actually still the Seagulls. So sorry, Brighton fans, messed up there. So Solly March in D, 45. It's 39 in D. It's a defensive check. So block to X. All of the defense checks have been in the header or block range. No straight steals. And they retain in X. X16 will be player 4. Pascal Gross in X. 32 is 33 in X. That's defense. There's a 25 on the 3 is going to be a steal to F. Straight steal for Arsenal. So we just, from there, when we get a steal result, we just determine who gets it. And F12 is going to be 1. So it'll be Saka in F. 52 is 23 in F is going to be F9. That'll be El Neni. 65 is 45 in F. That's out of bounds. Arsenal is going to change their tactic to 4-3-3 or attacking. So we also have to change Brighton because these charts do both. They're dependent upon what the offense and the defense is. So it will open it up more, a little bit more for Brighton, but it will open it up more for Arsenal as well. So the throw-in 7 is what, F? No, it is E, actually. I should have that. I feel like I have these memorized, but then there's some changes between the two systems that do confuse me. So, okay, so the dunk for the Seagulls in E, 53, and E is 40. That's a header to D. They need a 44 or above. Oh, and it's 40, and it's way off the screen, but it is 44 right on the money, so they'll retain it in D. D53, 7. So that will be Adam Webster. And there's a 1 in D. That's going to be a shot for Webster. Let's see. Who would be the assist person? 53 would be 6. That's going to be Basuma, who's a 0. So no assist and no zone change. So it's 25 for Webster. So it needs 25 or less. It's a 41. It's off target. 3 shots, I think, for and that's going to be a goalkeeper outlet. 3 shots, and I believe we've had 3-1. The goal from Trossard, he had a shot off target. Webster just had a shot off target, and then Tierney had one off target for Arsenal. So goalkeeper outlet. 25th minute, 1-0. And that's going to be an E on the... Wait, goalkeeper outlet. No, that's X on a 10. X15 is 4. William in X. 43, that's 28 in X. That's defensive check. That's a 12, so a steal to B for Brighton. So they're going to have it in a good zone offensively. B34 is going to be player 3, so it's going to be Dunk, the defender, in B. 34, it's 32 in B. D1, Trossard in D. Does he get a shot? 44, he will. That's 5 in D. They're getting all the doubles, and we will... Well, let's check the assist. 21. That'd be player 2. That's Trossard himself, so it'd be unassisted. No assist rating. So it's just going to be up straight up 32 for Trossard being in zone D. It's a 0. And he misses the shot. Needed a 32 or less. And now that will be, what is that, wide? That's over. So that'll lead to a goal kick in the 27th minute. For Arsenal, Arsenal not getting any shot rolls. Goal kick. That is to be on a 3, so that's a good result for them. B31 is going to be player 3. That'll be Xhaka, the Swiss international. 25 in B is going to be B5. Dos Santos in B. They need a double. They can't get it. 23 in B. B3. That's Xhaka again. There's a 2. So that's going to be a shot for Granit Xhaka, who would be assisting 21 Smith Rowe, who is a 4. So they would get 1 plus the 3 for B. So that's going to be up 4 for Xhaka. He's 25, so that goes up to 33. So 25, then we add 4. 26, 31, 32, 33. So Here's the roll for Shaka. Need a 33 or less. It's a 31. It is on target. Matt Ryan, who does not have a very good card here. Can he prevent the goal? 52 is a 10. That's a goal, and it is all square at 1 apiece. As Granit Xhaka takes a shot from just outside the area, curls it past Ryan, and assisted by Smith Rowe. So great joy for the opposing fans who are attending here at the AmEx Stadium as Arsenal pulls level. And Arsenal now is gonna return to a more neutral approach to their game, because they have pulled even, and I don't think they want to give Brighton. Brighton doesn't have a ton of guys that go up to 8 and 9, but you don't want to give extra chances if you don't have to, and that's exposing yourself quite a bit to the oppositions. This will be a goal. This will be a kickoff. And we're going to add a minute of stoppage time for each goal. So we basically got 2.5 minutes so far. We're in the 29th minute. The goal came in the 28th minute from Xhaka, assisted by Smith Rowe. And so the kickoff is a 9, which will be to D for Brighton. That's going to be player 4. That'll be Gross. 31 is 44 in D, which is going to be out of bounds. Throw in to the Gunners. Throw in 7 is E. Can you see it? 14. That'll be player 2. So that'll be Aubameyang. Zoney a bit out. This is still if he gets a 1 through 4, which would be 66, 11, 33, or 22, you get a shot, but that'll be 41. That's 30 in E. That's going to be a defensive check. Oh, and they steal it to A. Brighton will have it. Get it to the penalty box on this penalty area on this rush, and it will be Trossard who ends up on the end of the ball here in A. 44, this is another shot, and this is going to be boosted by 5. And who would be the assist? 21 is going to be player 2 himself again, so he doesn't get boosted from that, but that'll be 41. He goes from 32 up 5 to 41, and the shot is off target, and it is going to be a corner kick. Goes off a defender and out into over the line for a corner. So Pascal Gross will be the corner kick taker. He is rated A. So we roll and we take the sum, and it's 9. So for an A, that's a pass to B. And we determine who, and then it'll be a shot from that player. So let's, and I also look at the corner kick. So 55 on the corner kick list is going to be player 4. So that actually will come back to Gross, and he will get a shot from B. And I don't put any assist. Well, I do put the zone assist. So Gross is 21. So we'll add 3. That'll make it 24. Who would get the assist here? we're not going to add anything for it. 26 is going to be player 3. That's Lallana, and he's a 1 anyway, so he wouldn't get a boost either way. So this would be from Lallana, but he needs a 24 or less, and it's an on-goal Bernd Leno, German keeper. Can he make the save? No, it's 14. It's a goal again, 2-1. Another goal for Brighton. From Lallana, it's Pascal Gross. He fires in the corner. It gets deflected out by a header, but then regaining his Lallana, he crosses it in, and Gross gets on of it. And that's in the 32nd minute. So there is your current scoring summary there. Gross getting the go-ahead. And now Arsenal is going to return. Maybe they shouldn't have ever backed away from this, but I don't think that had any influence on how that turned out. But Brighton's been getting the lucky rolls here so far. It'll be a kickoff, and we'll add another. So it's 2-1. So kickoff, that's going to be X, right? No, D for 12. See, I get that in the goal kick confused. D35 is going to be player 5. That's going to be Dos Santos. Up to the 34th minute here, we're almost to halftime. So 31 for Dos Santos is 42 in D. It'd be a header to C. If it's 43 or less, they keep it. It's 54 that will go to Brighton in zone X. 10. So Ben White in X. 45 is 36 in X. That's a defensive check. 31 for the 3 is going to be a steal to F. So no loose ball check necessary. We just check who gets it. It's going to be 10. It's going to be Rob Holding. Domestic central defender 30, and F is going to be a defensive check as well. F20. Defense 23 for the 2 is going to be a steal to E for Brighton. E35. It's player 6. Solly March. 44 hits a 5 in E. See, this is one that wouldn't be a shot if Arsenal was playing 4-4-2, but instead this will be March getting a chance. Now E does subtract 3, and he is already low. But let's see, who would get the assist? 16 is going to be the first player. That's Gross. Gross is rated an 8. So for the 8, you get to add 3, which counteracts subtracting 3. So it's going to be March, who is 21 on his shot on goal rating. So let's see, does he get 21 or less? No, he doesn't. It really disfavored that. 2, that's wide. So that's a goal kick for Gunners. Leno will take the goal kick 9. It'll be to D. D36 will be player 5 in the 36th minute now. 2-1. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do this. 2-1 Brighton. Probably should edit this, do this in the post editing, do the scoreboard stuff. That would help probably, especially if I'm recording this. Okay, so for Arsenal it'll be Dos Santos in D. It's a 15. On good offensive cards, that's a potential shot, but 43 in D is going to be a header to D, so can they retain possession here? Need another lower roll. It is going to be retained. I'm going to move this over so I have room for my score sheet here. So who gets it in D? D1, okay. That's going to be Saka in D, not Xhaka, Saka. .42 is 29 in 29 in D is going to be E5. Dos Santos in E, 64 is 39 in E is going to be a header to B. They can get another low roll here, but it's not. They lose possession. So it's going to go to Brighton X. 42. It's going to be 8. That'll be Alireza Yahanbakish, the Iranian. 44 is going to be 44, and that's going to be out of bounds, right? Yeah, it's an X. Throw in 6 is F. 53 is 9. So El Neni and F. 25, 34 and F is going to be a defensive check. 63 block to F. And it is retained by Arsenal. F15 will be player 3, so that'll be Xhaka, the goal scorer. 15 is not going to be a good number. 40 in F, though, will get a header to D, so at least another loose ball check. It's 34. It is going to be good. So they'll get it in D. Who will be the player receiving it? 61 in D is going to be player 9. El Neni in D. Need to be 66, 11, or 33. 22 won't do the job. 24 in D, though, will be a good pass. That'll be to D2. So Aubameyang in D. So this guy has a number of shots on his card. 23, though, is not. That'll be 40 in D. Defensive check. Can't get a good roll when the big guy comes up. So that's a block to F. F64 is going to be 10. Oh, whoops. 64, they lose possession. That's getting ahead of myself there. It's one of the things with this mechanic is sometimes you can forget what you're actually checking at times. So F61, that is going to be F10. Or X10, excuse me. X for Brighton. 10, white. 13. 36 in X is going to be defensive check. I think if they were playing 4-5-1, that might have been okay. So 3 and 14, so a corner kick. So it's going to be Arsenal gets the ball and takes it all the way down, and it goes off a defender, and it's going to be a corner kick. So that's how this works. Whoops. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be a corner kick. So again, that's where we get the 14. If you look at the 3 column for Arsenal, it says CK. So this is a corner kick where because it's based on their rating, they will go down and get the corner kick. So it's going to be Willian taking it. He's a C-rated corner kick taker. So we go 6, and C is going to be a pass to B with no shot resulting. So B 25, and we look at the corner kick ID, is going to be 2. So it'll be Aubameyang in B. 65 is 37 in B. That's defensive. Boy, every time he's gotten the ball, it has led to a defensive check for the and that's a steal to A for Brighton. A13 is going to be A1. Trossard in A. This is the guy you do not want having a chance in A. 23 is 39 in A. That's a defensive check. They get away with that one. So finally an unlucky roll for Brighton. Header to E. And it is lost, so it'll be an X for Arsenal. We're in the going to the 43rd minute here. It'll be 6. So that's going to be Emil Smith-Rowe with it in X, deep in his own half. 42. That's out of bounds on the 45. So a throw in for the goals. 21 on the throw in. B, or that's going to be 3, which is X. When you have the lead, you don't mind any throw-in, right? So X51 is 9. So that'll be Alzadi. 64 is 26, and X is defensive check. 16, that's going to be a steal to D for the Gunners. They'd love to get this game squared up before half and be able to work towards earning an away victory. So that's D5. It's Dos Santos and D. 33, that'll be a shot. So let's see who would have the assist. 35, player 4. That would be Aubameyang. He's a 3, so we do get to add 1 to Dos Santos. So he's 24. That'll be up to 25. So not quite a 1/3 chance here. And it's 45. That's a missed shot. Can they at least get a corner out of it? Nope, that's a goalkeeper outlet. 45th minute, we'll have 3.5 minutes of stoppage time. Goalkeeper outlet on a 5. It's going to be to E. 33 will be player 5. So that's Lallana. Zoni 65. So that's 45, and E is out of bounds. Into the first minute of stoppage time here. Throw in. That'll be F. F32 is going to be 6. So Emil Smith-Rowe and F. 23. Out of bounds. That'll be a throw in. 8. That'll be F. F31 is going to be player 6. That'll be Solly March, second minute of stoppage time. 12 is 40. In F is a header to D. Can they retain? No, they don't. Gunners collecting their own half. X5, that'll be Dos Santos. 36 in X is defensive check. 42. Header to E. They retain. No, they lose possession. So X12 is going to be player 2 for Brighton. So that'll be Bissouma in X. 26, he is fouled. Low fouls here in the first half. Who is guilty of committing the foul? It's 46. So that's going to be player 5. That'll be Saka. I think that's his second foul of the half. No card that will lead to a free kick, and we might give them an extra 30 seconds here to see how this plays out. So it's going to be Gross taking the free kick. Actually, no, it'll be Dunk taking the free kick. 10 is going to be C. C1. So Trossard. 33. This would be a shot from C. This will be the last action. So we get to add 1. And 45, that's going to be player 5 on the assist, which is Johan Bach. She's a 1, so no adjustment there. So it's going to go from 32 to 33. Does he get it on target? No, he doesn't. And what's the result? Goalkeeper outlet, and the referee is just going to blow the whistle there. So at the intermission here, it is 2-1 Brighton. Quite a disappointing start to the season for Arsenal. They're just not getting the roles to go their way. So we'll be back with the stats, and we'll get on to the second half here right after this. All right, so we're coming back from halftime here. Got the stats all squared away. Brighton's been the better team this game for whatever reason. They have more shots. Actually, let me adjust this too, because this is actually not correct. There was another. Let's see. Gross has a shot. So 6 shots on target, as opposed. Let's double check. Yeah, it's a 3 for Arsenal. Only 1. Well, 2 shots on target, 1 for Arsenal. But no saves have been made so far in this game. 2 fouls to Arsenal, 1 to Brighton. One corner kick for each team, and offsides. So you can see here that we don't generate quite as many of the kind of superfluous shots, but we're still getting. I mean, Brighton's on target for for like 12 shots this game, which is pretty, I think, good. Arsenal should get more, and they're going to end up making a substitution in the second half. And what they're going to end up having to do is they're going to bring off. Who are they going to bring off here? They're going to bring off Willian. And they're going to have Lacazette come on for the second half. So they need to spice up their offense a bit. They're not generating enough chances. And hopefully, we have to decide whether we're going to take them back to 4-4-2 and just add somebody with more shot opportunities. So let's talk about this for a minute. So I just took off. Well, I decided instead of Willian, we'll leave Willian, and he's still a fair attacker. But we're going to take off Mohamed El Neni. He's a deep midfielder, and that may just be a little too much on the deep side of things for this game. They may need to just try and generate more attack, and so that's what we're going to do here. So we took El Neni was here in the 9 position. We just take him because when we line these up, we use what's called the offensive number, and so it goes from the highest to the lowest. So El Neni was here, and we just slide everybody back to fit Lacazette into the appropriate slot, which is between Saka and Aubameyang. So we just will move Willian down to 5. So this will be the first of their 3 possible substitutes in the game. He'll go right there, and then I'll need to readjust the foul committed, etc., etc. So, okay, and just to show you how I end up notating the change, so you can see here El Neni comes out for Lacazette. It's actually going to change so what we do to determine the the defensive, like, so there are adjustments that need to be made defensively at times, as far as like the team defense number. So a forward is equal to 1 defensive point, a midfielder 2, and a defender 3. So you total up everybody that's on the field. And Arsenal was at 23, so they had the base, but now they're down to 22. It's still the base. As long as it's between 21 and 25, you're at the base defense number. So the change actually brings them down 1, but doesn't move it into a place where we would need to downgrade them. And so what I do is I'll readjust the ranking, but if a player does not equal the same rating as the guy coming off, then I will use A. So in this case, El Neni was rated 6 as far as fouls committed. Lacazette is actually rated 2nd now. Let me see. Actually, we'll say 3rd because he's also a 3. So Dos Santos and Xhaka are 1 and 2. But now I'm going to put Lacazette 2A because he's also 3. He's next in line. He's going to come before Holding, who is 3, but he's rated at 2 in the ballot. So, and I do that for each of the columns. So that's how you can see how that works out. So I made one other boo-boo in playing the first half, and I'm not going to change. I'm not going to go back and replay it because, you know, I put it on video, and I just, we have times where we make mistakes, right? So it's, it's not like, so the actual team defense ratings are 3 for Brighton and 4 for Arsenal. I think generally speaking, because I had 2 and 3 and they were the same, like, differential between the two, I'm not too worried about it. If I had docked Arsenal down to like 2 and Brighton 2, then I probably would be thinking about redoing it. I mean, that would be a lot more. I would feel like that'd be more egregious. This is going to be okay, but from now on, I'm going to play the rest of this game with Arsenal as a 4 on the team defense chart, which just gives them a lot more opportunities for steals versus these loose ball checks. But let's get going here with Arsenal. So they've changed, and I'm going to take them back to 4-4-2. I think we want to try and limit the amount of extra chances that Brighton gets here because they've been close to getting a third goal. And I think with the extra firepower in Lacazette, as long as Arsenal is able to generate offense, and down the road here we may need to think about bringing in another guy like Partey, he's also a defensive midfielder. We could bring him in place of Xhaka, but they're very similar. We could also bring him in instead of a defender and just try and, like, more of a go for broke way. But let's just kick off here we're going to go each team 4-4-2 kickoff. That's to D with a 2 on the sum. And so D 14 is going to be Saka. So he's going to have it in D. It's possible shot opportunity here, depending on the roll. 25 is 8 in D. That will not be because we went to 4-4-2. Maybe let's see, if we were in 4-4-3 with that. Oh yeah, he'd have a shot here, but instead, it's probably just as good because D, so 8 in D is going to be A2, so it's going to be Lacazette, excuse me, in A, so another guy who can generate a lot of shots. But that's 32 in, so it's 42 in A. That's a header to A. They get another loose ball check. Can they keep possession in A, in the penalty box? 43, it's right on the edge, but they do. And who has it in A? A22 is going to be player 2. So that's Lacazette again. 14 is 28 in A, which is C4. Xhaka in C, the goal scorer. 43, and he's going to commit a foul, and that's going to end the opportunity. So tough break there, 61. So that's going to be foul suffered 8, which is going to be Alzate. Tough break there for Arsenal. They didn't even get a shot out of that foray into the office. So that's going to be 10 on the free kick X, which will be to C. C44 is going to be player 4. That'll be Gross in C, 63, and that's a 48. He fouls an Arsenal player. Which one? 26 is going to be player 3 on the foul suffered. 1A, 2. So that's going to be Shaka who gets taken down. No yellow. I probably should have rolled on Shaka earlier for yellow. Let's take that. Now let's roll again here. That's a 13 for Gross. It doesn't feel right. We're not gonna give either of them a yellow card. I forgot about the yellow card roll for Shaka. It's my bad. But we rolled 61 for. So let's do the free kick and X for Arsenal, and let's just go ahead and use the 4, which is going to be zone C for Arsenal. C26 is going to be player 2. So Lacazette and C. 25 is 22 in C. That will be C4. If we were a little later in the game, I'd start thinking about taking chances on this. It would be actually, well, we'll go C4. We don't want to lose possession here if we can help it. We can still get more opportunities with guys like Shaka. 33 is a 3 in C. That will be a shot. Let's roll on who the assist would be from. It's 24. So player 2 is Smith Rowe again. So that's going to be, we're going to add 2 to Shaka's total. So that's 25 up to 31. Need a low roll for a shot on target. That's a 44, so that's going to be off target. And will it lead to a corner kick? No, it won't. That will be over. Flex. Actually, it's just he shoots it over the bar, and it's a goal kick for Brighton. So this has spurred on a little bit more of Arsenal. They've had, so the possession in the first half was about 50-50. But they've had about 80% so far. Now, granted, we're just giving a goal kick to Brighton, so that will, and here's a leaner, we're going to re-roll completely. Goal kick 3 is going to be to zone B, so that's a good goal kick from Ryan. 44. And you have to understand here, Ryan's card is not very good. Any shots on goal by Arsenal have a great chance of going in here. So Gross and B, 21 is 33 in B, that's going to be E4. Actually, yeah, they're still 4-4-2, E4. They don't need to lose. They would love to keep possession. So Gross in E now. 3 in E is going to be a shot for Pascal Gross. Assist? Any assist help there? No. 62 would be player 8. It could be Webster again. Boy, well, Gross, he's going to be subtracted 3 for the zone E, so that's 21 down to 14. It's going to take a really low roll to get a shot on target here, and it's off target. Does it lead to a corner kick? No, it's over. That's a goal kick for the Gunners. 52nd minute, 2-1 Brighton. Goal kick 3, so they're going to get it in B as well. And can they get one of their good offensive players? 53 is 6. That's going to be Dos Santos. He has 4 shot numbers, so not unheard of for him to get a shot here. 45 though won't, and it's 46. That's going to be out of bounds. Well, so the throw in for Brighton, 53rd minute. We got to decide at some point if they're going to just close her down and go really tactically defensive here. So 7 on the throw in is zone E. E13 will be player 1, so it's going to be Trossard in E. Now he's quite away from goal. It'd have to be a 1 through 4 on his card, but it isn't. It's a 42, which is going to be 21 in E. So that's D8. So it's a productive pass, although it's to Johan Bakic. 25 is going to be 45. That's out of bounds. So throw in for Arsenal to 8. So that's F. 14. So that's going to be 2. That'll be Lacazette. That's a long way from goal. Need a 66 or an 11. That's 61. That's 23 in F is going to be a pass to F9. So that'll be Bellerin in F. I don't know if we've called his name yet. 27 in F is going to be a defensive check. So now Brighton, we are using 3 now. I had messed that up earlier. So that's header to F. But Arsenal will retain possession, so they'll keep it in F. And it'll be F. 13, that'll be 2. So that'll be Lacazette again in F. 25 is 22 in F. That's okay. F. We could do F8. They're going to take a chance here. It's a 1 through 4 roll, and it is a 4, so they're going to choose F1. They're going to choose Saka. He's got the most shot numbers on the table right now, and for their cards, I believe. Could be Aubameyang too, one or the other. 41 is 29. Wait, no. 41 is 29 in F. That's a defensive check, so no luck there for them. It's going to be 56 is a block to D. What's the loose ball going to show up? And they get it because it's under 43. It's under 44. So they retain possession. They get it in D. So this might lead to a better chance. So D3, that'll be Aubameyang in zone D. 45 is 29 in D. That'll be F. 6, it'll be Dos Santos. They'll keep it going here. F6. See what happens. 66 is a 1 in F. It's going to be a long shot from Dos Santos, who has the assist. 61, player 8. So because we took out a 10 assist rank and brought in a 5, that means that 8 is going to turn into 7. So it'll be Bellerin, who is rated 2. So no adjustment there. And also because it's F, we're going to subtract 5. So from 24 it goes down not to 14 but to 15. So 1 above it. So minus 5. It's got to be a 15 or below. And it's an 11. It is on goal. And Matt Ryan's card is ugly. Does he get a tying goal? 14 is in. Goal, Arsenal, 2-2. It's Dos Santos from Bellerin. And so they've drawn level here at the AmEx Stadium. Arsenal and the away fans going crazy as a defensive breakdown leads to a long prayer of a shot, and they find a way to get it past Ryan. He should have done better on that one. So we're going to keep everybody at 4-4-2. We've got a draw game. I think Brighton, being the home team and being up the table, would like to be continuing this good string of play for them. But you're talking about You know, they could get snapped up in here and lose, right? So it's a tough call, right? What do we do? Arsenal, I think they're still going to want to attack, but they don't want to go too heavy attack because it could sneak away from them. So that's why we're sticking with both kind of neutral. So 58th minute is where we stand right now in the game, and it is 2-2 draw currently. Kickoff for Brighton. Brighton's going to think about their first sub. So that goes to, it's a 3, so it's B. 25 will be player 2, so it's going to be Yves Bissouma. 16 is 23 in B, so that should be a pass, and that's a pass to Dunk in B. Four in B is going to be a shot for Lewis Dunk. Who would get the assist here? 56 is going to be player 7. So it would be unassisted, it's Dunk, and so it's in B, so we get to add, so 33 for Dunk gets to go up by 3 to 36, so a 50% chance at a shot on goal here for Dunk. And he's missed the target with that one. And it's over, so it's going to lead to a goal kick. So Brighton going to bring in Danny Well back at the next stoppage. Arsenal also going to start thinking about look at Partey. Maybe for Smith Rowe. They may want to try and so a little more defensive as well, but also maybe a deeper chance for maybe some better passes. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Let's take a look here. But it's going to be a goal kick for Arsenal. We aren't quite ready to make these changes. I think we'll make Brighton's first, and then we'll make Arsenal. They're less urgently, I think, waiting to do that. So 6 is going to be E. 60th minute. So we got a half an hour left here in the game. E63 will be player 9 for Arsenal. That'll be Hector Bellerin, the assist on the Gabriel dos Santos goal. 35. 33 in E is going to be a defensive opportunity for Brighton. And then 22 and 3 is going to be a steal to E. So they will take it straight away. E46 is going to be player 7. That's Adam Webster. 36 is 32 in E. That's another defensive check. And that's 22 for Arsenal. On the 4, that's going to be a steal to D. So a good opportunity here for them. I feel like anytime you get to a point where you just can use your straight shot on goal number or better, you're in good shape. So that's D7 for them as well. So it'll be Emile Smith Rowe in D. 35 is 35 in D. That's another defensive check, so they don't take advantage. Now 41 on the 3 is a header to D, so a chance at a loose ball check. And a 34 means it retains with the Gunners. So in D, can someone closer to the goal? No, it's going to be D63. That'll be 9. So it's going to be Bellerin in D. 44. It's a double, but it's 23 in D. So that's still a good. That'll be D6. It's a pass. They can keep possession. Dos Santos, the goal scorer. 35 is 33 in D. That's going to be a defensive check. 42. That's another. This is going to be a header to E, though. They lose possession, so it will go to Brighton in X. It's 33-7. Who's that? That's Webster. They're gonna kick it out of bounds, which will give Arsenal, but we're gonna get sub number 1 for Brighton here. Okay, so we're going to do, Lallana is going to come out and Welbeck is going to go in. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to say that they had already gone with Veltman getting ready to come in as well, because they want to try and balance out. Because that would put them down a defensive point, so they don't want to get too, because Lallana is more of a midfielder, attacking midfielder, and Welbeck, even though he is also kind of like an attacking midfielder, he's more of a forward. So they're injecting some offense, and what they're going to do is they're going to take off Johan Bakish, who was playing on the right side, and they're going to bring in Veltman instead. So that's going to take them from a 2-1 on one hand, but then they're going to go from 1 to 3. So, or you could think of it this way: you're going actually from a midfielder to a defender, because the forwards kind of like swap. So this is going to be in the 64th minute for both of these guys. So 60. So there's that one, and then Welbeck. You could be saying, why didn't you bring on Maupay? We may bring him on later. I think Welbeck might be better as far as generating chances. So we're bringing off Lallana in 64th minute. And we're bringing off Johan Bakish. Oh. There we go. Okay. So then Welbeck is 6A, 3A, 3, and 4A. So let's go ahead and light up these two guys with green, and we're going to deaden these two guys with like a deeper shade of orange. Okay, so we still need to do figure out Veltman here. He's 3, so after March, so that's going to be 3A. I'm going to write this on my sheet while I'm sitting here with Veltman. And then what did I say? After March, so that's 3A. Veltman is a 3, so before Marsh. So he's going to be 0A. A 0A. Assist, he's a 1. So he comes right before March. 4. So he's going to be 3A. And then Veltman is a 10, so he's going to go 4A. Webster, what is Webster? He's 9, so yeah, so it's 4B for Veltman. So there, so that's how we're doing these substitutions for Brighton. Arsenal's just going to wait a bit, because they could potentially, if they can get a goal here soon, they could change their tactical layout and try to go more defensive. They might even bring out like Aubameyang for Partey and try to go back to 2 defender, so, or 2 defensive midfielder. All right, so this is a throw in for Arsenal. Oh, and I forgot to switch screen back, so let's. You heard it roll. It's 25, so that's 7 on the throw in is E. Oh, and let's go back to our scoreboard here. Oh, and it is, yeah, it's 2-2. And we are in the 64th minute. E45 is going to be player 7. So that's Emil Smith Rowe. 33 is a 3 in E. This will be a shot. Who would get the assist? 55 is going to be player 7. So again, that's going to be 6, which is Shaka. He is a 2, so no adjustment there. It's going to be subtracting 3. So 32 minus 3 for zone E, down to 25. So it's going to be, it's less than a third of a chance here at a shot on goal. And then if it is a shot on goal, oh, look out. 16, it's a blue 1, so this is a shot on goal because it's under 25. And now I'm just going to leave it here. You can probably see the 10s. Ryan would love a double here. That would be his favorite roll. 15 is a 6. He's going to get a save, but it's a rebound to A, I believe, right? Yes, rebound to A. So a save finally for Ryan. And now a loose ball check for Arsenal. And they lose possession. So it'll be zone X for Brighton. So they weather that storm. X21 is 5 to the 66th minute. Still 2-2. Gross in X. 34 is offside. So he tries a pass. A bit of a stretch pass to Trossard, but leads to an offside. So that's going to be an indirect free kick after an offside. Which is more or less like an indirect, well, it's more or less like a free kick from X. But the indirect kick goes to zone B for Gunners. B45 is going to be player 5. So that's going to be Willian. Willian in B is 15, is 35 in B. That's going to be a defensive check. Played really well for Manchester City, but this Arsenal card isn't quite so good for him. Header to F. And they lose it. So it'll be Seagulls taken over in zone X. 56 is 9. So that'll be Alzadi in X. 61 is 32 in X. That's going to be a defensive check. 64 for Arsenal is a block to E. And they retain it in E. So Brighton will still have it. E44 is 7. Solly March in E, 45. So 39 in E. That's going to be a header to D. So they need another loose ball win here in order to keep it in D. And they do get it. D33 is going to be player 4. So that will be Lewis Dunk. 13 is 34 in D. That's a defensive check for the 4-rated Arsenal. And 54, header to F. They retain it. So spat of possession here for Brighton. And it's 51 in F. That's going to be player 9. That'll be Alzadi. So 69th minute coming up here. And we probably will need to make some kind of a change here soon for Arsenal. So F9. So 52, 46, that's out of bounds. This is a perfect time to do it. And we will bring in Party. He is going to come in for Emil Smith Rowe. So tactically, it's interesting that it's somewhat a... they're going a little more defensive, but they already have a lot of attacking prowess on here. It's just, if they could get a deep-seated midfielder to make a good pass up into A or B, which that adding another number here might do that. So this is in which minute? The 69th, I said. So 69. All right, so let's put it back over here. So Party is going to come in. Smith Rowe is going to be retreating. Party is actually going to go, though, right before Dos Santos. So he's going to be pushing down Dos Santos a bit more. So Party is a 2. Comes after Bellarine. So it's a 4A. And then for the foul suffered, another 2. He's going to come before Tyranny. 7. So Williams still in there, so this will be 6A. Then we have assist. Party is a 2. So before Bellarine. 7. It would be 6. Jacques is still in there, so 6A. And then Party's a 13. Smith Rowe is 17. So probably right after Dos Santos here. So Dos Santos is Gabriel 2. It's a 3. We can give him 3 because El Neni came off. All right. So we got 6A and 3. All right. So there we are. Okay, so both teams have used 2 of their substitutions. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Gunners. Throw-in 5 is going to be to D. 46-7. So that's Dos Santos. He keeps getting touches even though he's moving down the order. So 23 in D, that's a good pass. That's D6. That's going to be Party. Getting it 13 in D is 43, and that's going to be header E. Can they retain? They sure can. E63. That's going to be E9. So that's going to be Bellarine. 51 is 46. That's out of bounds. Throw in to Brighton. Do we make a tactical switch? In other table situations here with Brighton top half and Arsenal bottom half, you'd say Brighton would try to go for it. I'd say based on league history, Arsenal would be the ones that would be saying, okay, we should be going and trying to get a point here, or trying to get 3 points. I think we're going to keep it 4-4-2 for now and see how it plays out. I don't know if either team is really super motivated to try and win it. I mean, Brighton probably is, but I do think that what we could do with Brighton here is keep them at this tactical philosophy, but then go with go with Maupay to try and see if one more scorer in there would be good. So throw-in is to B. Oh boy. B32 is going to be player 3. So that will be Danny Welbeck. First touch that we've seen here on the table. 45 is 32 in B. It's going to be D3. Welbeck in D. 64, 30 in D. That's going to be a defensive check. for Arsenal, and it's 11. Steal to A here is going to be a glorious chance for them, depending on who gets the ball. A42 is going to be player 3. That's Aubameyang. That's a good player to have having the ball in A. 54, and that's a special result. Poor time for that to come up when they got it in A. 65, pass to area B, player's choice. So that actually downgrades him. So player choice, we're going to go with Lacazette here. B2. 42 and B is 34 and B, that's going to be, well, let's see, 42. Well, we would have had a better chance at a pass there if we had gone with Saka. Oh well. 23 on a 3 is going to be steal to E for Brighton. E6. Now both teams have clutch points, and the way I've used clutch points is that I say that only one team can use clutch points in a single minute. So you can't do this where, oh, well, one team uses them to make a pass to zone A, and then the other team then uses theirs to just steal to zone A or whatever. So, but anyway, steal to E6. So it'll be Veltman in E for Brighton. 22. That's a 45. That is out of bounds. So a throw in the 75th minute for the Gunners. Throw in, it's going to be the X on that 11. X 15 though, that'll be 4, so at least a player with a couple of good pass chances here. Xhaka and X 63, he's going to foul a player, so that's going to be a foul committed by Xhaka. 55 will be player 7. Foul suffered. Player 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So gross. But we can here, yeah. Let's just we'll call it that. So let's see. Is there a card involved? 31 for Xhaka. No. Brighton will get Maupay up. They're going to do a straight swap for him and Trossard. Arsenal will get Nketiah, another forward warming up. So let's see. So we took out Partey and we brought in Partey and we took out Smith Rowe. So we've gone midfield. We've just gone one down. We can go one more and bring a forward in for them and not suffer the defensive consequences. So who would be the guy to bring out here? It would be Xhaka, or we do a straight swap, but I feel like we don't want to go too much more down. So we'll keep it at that. And Maupay there. So both these teams will be thinking about it. I think we'll do Arsenal first, but first we're going to be free kicking. That's 9. It'll be zone C for Arsenal, or no, for Brighton, excuse me. Ooh, C1. So Trossard, this could change everything if he were able to muster a shot on goal. 35 though won't. 45 and C, that is out of bounds. Okay, so sub 3 for Arsenal is going to come in. It's going to be Nketiah, Eddie Nketiah. This is in the 77th minute. A little early to be using up all your subs. And they will bring out Granit Xhaka. So let me think about this here. So we've got still 4 in defense. We'd have Partey in the center midfield. I think this would still work. We would just have Willian playing as a outside midfielder. And you'd probably want to slide Saka back into a midfield role, and then have Aubameyang and Nketiah and Lacazette as your forward line in like a 4-3-3. So I think we can successfully do this without disrupting things too much. So that's one of the things I like to try and make sure I do when I'm thinking through tactical changes, is have I compromised the plausibility of such a change, right? So how likely are they to take out Xhaka for Nketiah, and with all the other changes they've made, and can it be like realistic as far as, can I find a formation which makes sense? So, and I think that even on the road, I mean, they might want a point, but I think they may still be trying to. They would kind of like to get this victory. They're kind of like behind in the points currently. They'd like to kind of like get their season on track. So for me, this makes quite a bit of sense. So that's going to move Willian up to 4, Partey to 5, Dos Santos to 6, Tierney to 7, and then Nketiah, the forward, is going to go into 8, which is fine. I mean, it's just he might end up being more of a... He might end up passing it a couple times. Just the way it goes with this game. So it's going to be before Tierney... Tierney, so 6A. Well, El Neni came out, so we can make him 6. So after Tierney, 7, 8. So 7A is going to be this. 1. So before Holding, 7A. And lastly, injury. I'm not going to worry about injury right now. So injury one doesn't come up all that often, which is, I think, part of the reason why there was another rule set that had been birthed. But because that one does have more injuries available. Okay. So there's one more change that Brighton can make, and that could be Maupay. We're not going to do them right at the moment. We're going to do a throw-in for the Gunners. So 8 is going to be the F. F15 is going to be player 3. That'll be Aubameyang. 35 is 40, and F is going to be header to E. And it is a loss. So X for Brighton. X63. Player 10. Ben White. 14 is 32, and X, that's going to be a defensive check. 51 for Arsenal is going to be header to E. Retained by Brighton. Player 8 on the 52, so that's going to be Adam Webster in E. 42 is 25 in E. That's going to be a pass, E7. So that's March in E. 65, and he is fouled. So that's a foul suffered by March, I mean. So 8, foul committed. Foul committed, 8. So a lot of times what I like to do is take my cards here and just look for the least one is going to be Leno, And we have another 0 here. No. So 11, 10, 9, 8. William. Last thing you want here is a red, and he doesn't get it. So it's gonna be a free kick. Let's do the final sub here for Brighton. It's going to be Maupay straight up for Trossard. So he scored a goal. A good match here for Leandro Trossard. Quite a few shots taken. But Maupay is going to be brought in to try and get the go-ahead goal. So this is in the 80th minute. And at this point in the game, I'm not going to bother with any of the other. I'm not going to calculate them anymore, because I'll just, with 10 minutes left, anything that I need to check, I will just do it on the fly. All right, so a free kick from Zone E for Brighton. E9 is going to be to Zone B. B1. So it's going to be Maupay right off the bat. Can he get a chance at goal? 64. No, it's 46. That's out of bounds. Throw in for Arsenal. Everybody's played all of their possible tactical cards aside from just ramping up their defense, or they're ramping it down and playing more attack. So X4, so it'll be William and X, 24. 42 and X is going to be out of bounds. So we're throwing in for Brighton. 6 is going to be to F. 33. So it's going to be 6. So Brighton's going to use one clutch point to make a pass to D1. So they're going to go little by little here and try to use up their clutch points this way. So Maupay in D. 32 is going to be 37 in D, which is going to be a defensive check. So that doesn't play out so well. 45 on a 4 is going to be a header to D. That's a rough break there for Arsenal. And they Brighton keeps possession, so it stays in D. 35 is going to be player 5. So I think they're just going to keep, since they're in a more advanced zone here, they're going to stick with D5. It'll be Pascal Gross in D. 52 is 24 in D. That's D7. March in D. He has 5 shot numbers. 65. He's fouled. Solly March is fouled by, that's the top foul guy. So that's going to be Dos Santos. It looks like it is. This would be a free kick in D as well. So that's and no card, but a free kick in D for Brighton. $11, 6 and 5. This is going to be a shot. So let's see. So who is going to... So I guess this is going to be a shot by the player himself on the free kick, right? Let's see. I'm going to go to the rule book just so that way I'm absolutely sure. Direct kick. Determine the area, which... Consult the player control chart. All right, well, we consult the player control chart. It's D14, so it's going to be Saka. Oh, no, not Saka. It's going to be Mape who gets the shot. And we're going to not... We're not going to use an assist, and we're not going to use any bump. It's going to be 31. Well, let's see. Who would get the assist if he does have an assist? 34. It's going to be player 3. Gross, Mape, Welbeck looks like the third. So this would be Welbeck who gets it. So it's a 31 for Mape, and it's off target grossly. So what's going to be the outcome? It's a goalkeeper outlet. Let's see what the goalkeeper outlet brings for Arsenal. It's going to be 5. That's to zone E. $34. E5. Now they have 7 clutch points. They're going to use 3 of them to send it to zone B. And it's going to be B1. We're going to keep it with Saka here in B. 35 in B is 44 in B. It's a header to C. They get away with that. That wasn't not a shot attempt. Do they get control? They do keep control in C. C64. That's 8. Well, at least they're still entrenched there with Nketiah and C. 51 is 43 in C. It's going to be a header to D. They lose it. X 36, that's going to be player 7. That will be March. But now they're going to use another clutch point to take it to D, and it'll be Mape again. D2, that's going to be a shot for Mape. Any assist? 14 would be Gross. And he is an 8, so that's going to be add 3. So 31 up to 34 for Mape. Can he get a shot on goal? No, he doesn't. That's off target. Goalkeeper outlet. Where does Arsenal send it? We're in the 89th minute, so we're running out of time. That's going to be X. They're going to be using, I think they're going to use all the rest of their clutch points. There's X10. Definitely going to use up 4, and they're going to go to zone A. They go A2. It's going to be Lacazette in A. 56 is 22 in A. It's going to be B1. Saka in B. 55 is 6 in B. This is going to be a shot for Saka. Assist would go to 32. Player 3. Who is that going to be? Assist. Willian is 1. Saka is 2. Aubameyang is 3. And so it's going to add 1 plus the 3 for zone B. So Saka goes up 4 from 31 to 35. Can they get the winning goal here? $26. It's on target. And now we know what Ryan's card is. Can Ryan save this as a miracle save? 21 is a 10. It's a goal. And the Brighton fans' hearts are broken as it's a goal for Bukayo Saka from Aubameyang. Brighton fans are probably feeling hard done by this goal. 90 minute. They still have clutch points, and there's going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time here. So no, they could take it to B. They could take it to C or to D. Either one. I think we're probably going to try to do 2 Ds. So Arsenal 3-2. With just stoppage time left. So it's going to be a kickoff for Brighton. They're going to go, well, we're going to go to the complete hard defense for Arsenal, hard offense for Brighton now as they try to get an equalizer and at least salvage a point here. So kickoff 10 is going to be to E. E41. It's going to be player 6, Veltman. Well, they're going to use a clutch point D1. You got to try and get it to Maupay. He's your best scorer. Could be, but you could take Welbeck too. Welbeck is pretty good. Let's go with Maupay. 43. Commits a foul. And who is the recipient? 60, so 10. So here's foul suffered 1. So it's going to be holding. Not the foul, the player. Is there a card? No. That would be a tough time to get a card. So free kick in X for Arsenal. 9 is going to be C. 23, so C2. And we're going to let Brighton use their last point. It's going to be a steal to D1, and you get to choose who. Right? I'm going to double check. I think you get to choose 1 point, ball stolen, advance to area D to the player of your choice. So it's going to be Maupay one more time in D. Can they catch a break here and get a shot? 61 is 43. It's a header to D. Loose ball check might be the last gasp for them. They need 44 or more. It's 16. It's lost. X. Arsenal will get possession in their own half. 32. X6. Dos Santos. 41. 45, that's out of bounds. 5th minute of stoppage time. Throw in. 9 is going to be to D. There's still a chance here. They're gonna get one more roll on a player card. D43 is going to be 6. So it's going to be Veltman. You need 66, 33, or 11 here. And it's 36, 43 in D. Is going to be header to E. Definitely if it's 43 or less, we're going to just blow the whistle on it. It's 36. That's lost to Arsenal. X. The referee looking at his watch. X10. He blows the whistle 3 times. It is over. Your final from AmEx Stadium. What a tough break there for Brighton. They had a couple of leads and couldn't hold it. Arsenal 3, Brighton 2 as they get 2 goals in the first half. But Arsenal get 2 in the second and had topped one off in the first. That was a pretty good match there, I would say. So final is BHA 2 and 3 for Arsenal. Here you go. I'm going to tally up the stats. And we'll get that all done, and we will wrap this game up. So, needed win here for the Gunners. They're well below where they'd like to be, and so maybe this will kickstart them as they get a late goal from Bukayo Saka, and they take the victory here on the south side of England. All right, and there you have it. Arsenal needing a win, really reeling after a pretty slow start. And they had a slow start to this game as well, but they come through in the final minutes, and Bukayo Saka gets a goal with just a few minutes left, actually entering stoppage time, fed by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Sorry, I was drawing a blank there. And they get the victory 3-2 over Brighton. Brighton still in good shape here. You can see the shots. Brighton still outshot Arsenal. They probably played the better game, but the difference being that Arsenal's defense shut down the Seagulls in the second half. They really mustered. Let's see, what did they muster? I have the actual chart here that has broken down. 4 shots were mustered by Brighton, but only but none of those end up on target. And so if they had been able to put any of those on frame, maybe they have a chance at a victory here. But instead, it's Arsenal, and again, Arsenal's playing against Matthew Ryan, whose card has a lot of goals conceded. So just a tough break that he was the one that was the fit one, and I was told that I needed to use him by my methods, and so we had to go with that. And it just turned out rough for Brighton, but still a good match. It was a fun match of a lot of decision making, trying to decide where they were going to go as far as tactics go. So anyway, if you like these APBA soccer videos, please hit a like. I'll probably keep making them here and there. Probably one a match week. This one went a little long. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot to change some of these things here at the bottom of the list. The corner kicks. Oh, there's one apiece, and there's one extra offside for Brighton. They had an offside in the second half, so there you go. Anyway, I hope all of you have a great Sunday. I'm going to get this spooled together and thrown out there for you to watch if you're interested in watching this today or as the week goes on. Leave a comment if you have any questions on the methods here. I'm going to keep playing games and get better at it. Apologies for the early gaffe as far as the defensive ratings. Just that's one thing I would caution someone playing the game here, is make sure you don't get confused with the team defense and the team rating. They're two different things, and it can be easy to get a little confused and just mix up which one's which. But just play the game, have fun, or whatever game you're playing, have fun. And we'll see you back here on Tenacious Sports very soon. Till then, have a good one, and keep rolling your dice for these games. See ya.